Now we take our 12-inch overhang track. We have a 3-footer here, and we're going to clamp it onto the back of that split bar counter, that the backsplash wall, to make a split bar counter. We clamp it so it's nice and flush to the top on both ends. And now we're going to take our black marking pen where we want to install a hidden bar support in the field, and using the solid side of that stud, we're going to make a black line on the back of that track, because we're going to need to cut a slit there so the hidden bar support can slide through. Now you'd have to do that on every stud in the field where you want a hidden bar support. You got to mark them. Now we're going to go ahead and take this off, and we can see that we have a black line there, and we're going to take that and we're going to cut slits through that. Now we can either use a chop saw or a grinder. We're going to use the grinder here because that's a very popular or inexpensive tool that you might be working with. Here's our grinder. You can see that we have a 4.5-inch masonry diamond blade. A diamond blade is nice and smooth on the outside here. You'll have to have one of those to cut cement board and to cut the steel. Now let's go ahead and cut that hole out, that slit on the line here. Make sure you're wearing a protective face shield, hearing protection, and nothing flammable around you from the sparks. Okay, you can see how he went through twice here to make a larger gap for the hidden bar support to slide through. You could also notice in the video how we used a foot on top of here to hold this piece down so it doesn't get loose. So that's very important. Always use caution and safety with power tools. Now we'll go ahead and clamp this back into place. Before clamping the track back into place, we're going to also have to make a slit here where we need it. And there we have it, a nice slit right to the left of the solid side of the bar stud. So you can see how a hidden bar support can have a nice slit that's going to be able to let it secure onto here and slip through that track. Now let's go ahead and put the track into place. Now we take our hidden bar supports and we put them through each one of those slits before clamping this into place. And then we go ahead and we slide it right through the slit. If it doesn't line up, you can always trim more to make it fit properly. There it goes, perfect. Now we'll go ahead and clamp this whole thing on flush. We got to have it flush on the ends here and flush to the top, just like that. And you can see how that hidden bar support's just dangling out of there. If you didn't put that in like we just did, you won't be able to get it in later. You'll be in trouble. You'd have to take everything back apart. Now you could have done this for as many hidden bar supports as needed, following that same assembly instructions. Now the ones on the ends, you don't do anything special. Those just screw onto the outside. So there's nothing, no cutting required there. Now let's go ahead and continue. We're screwing into the top rail of the backsplash wall. We also add extra screws into the studs, so we like to put at least 1 or 2 screws into every stud as well for extra strength to really hold this good. It's really important to have a lot of screws here, at least every 8 inches, to hold this really strong for your overhang. Now we're installing our 12-inch overhang stud starting on one end here. We push it all the way into the back and clamp it with our 6R vise clamp. Make it nice and flush on the outside there. You can see how we have it nice and deep into the track. Put a screw in through the top, but no screw in the bottom at this point. We want to let it have flexibility to level it with the hidden bar support. We have a magnetic level that we use that really comes in handy. It just sticks on the top there. And we take our hidden bar support. We want to make sure that it doesn't stick out from the framing when we install it. It helps if you clamp the hidden bar support to the frame to hold it in place. So we're getting it level here and then clamp it in as level as possible. Now we're using our self-tapping screws. You want to put screws through every hole. If needed, our self-tapping screws from Barbecue Coach are so good they can penetrate through the steel without a hole if you need to do that. Also, when you install the cement board, your self-tapping screws will go right through these steel hidden bar supports. So that's really a good feature of the screws from the Barbecue Coach. So it's that easy to screw with these Barbecue Coach screws, available from your dealer. Now you're going to have to go ahead and make sure that when you screw in the overhang stud that you have this perfectly level. It really helps having a magnetic level because you can keep an eye on it. Now we'll fill in all the holes. This adds a lot of strength to an overhang. And there you have it. Now the last step is to screw in that bottom. And there it is. Now you'll duplicate that same procedure on every one of your hidden bar supports throughout your overhang. So we'll go ahead and continue and do that now. So here we have all three hidden bar supports installed. You can see how that center one is installed through that slit and going down to the bar stud. And then we have another one on the far end here as well. Now we're going to go ahead and take our last track and we're going to slip it over those studs. After many years of experience, we have found that the 2.5-inch thick track looks the best for outdoor kitchens. You wouldn't want to use the 3 5/8, that's too large and doesn't look good. And you wouldn't want something too narrow. So this is just the most popular look for an outdoor kitchen overhang with the 2.5-inch size. Now you can see how we are clamped on both ends here. So it's nice and tight. And we'll go ahead and just put screws in once we have it nice and flush. And he'll just continue screwing along top and bottom to every one of those overhang studs.